Coming up, we head midtown behind the scenes of the new animated MTV Downtown.
Paul, you, my dear, are a pretty animated guy.
What? I'm animated? I guess that. Is that a compliment now?
It certainly is, and it was for one downtown kid in New York who was just walking down the street one night when her life literally became a cartoon.
Okay, I smell a story for our own colorful correspondent, Bill Tush. We sent him out to catch up with her and the other characters downtown.
To get the B at Westford, and it's like, I don't know, like 3 stops.
Girl, when you talk, makes sense.
You're asked to produce an animated series for MTV, which takes a look at city life through the eyes of teens and 20-somethings. So where do you go for inspiration? Creator Chris Pernosky hit the streets of downtown Manhattan with camera in hand and found his inspiration and his cast.
We had all these tapes that we shot on the street, and you know, the characters kind of grew out of those. Ours isn't a sitcom. Ours isn't about gags. It's about just like stories and people and characters. You know?
God, I'm so sick of hearing you talk about Matt. What, are you like in love with him or something?
Don't be saying stuff like that.
We headed uptown to MTV's Downtown Soundstage to meet some of the voices and hear the animated tale of how they were discovered.
We were walking in, it was late at night, and we had interviewed a ton of people.
We were walking past Washington Square Park. It was like 2 o'clock in the morning, and they're like, hey, you know, we're from MTV and blah, blah, and...
She had like pink hair or something at the time. I was like, all right, they look cool. They'll be the last ones of the night.
Can you tell us a story? And we were like, okay, you know, we had this crazy night last night, and we started to tell them about it.
They were so funny and so energetic and so crazy, and we're like, great.
I was the one dancing in the fountain in Washington Square Park that day and looking really hot. It's a lot of fun. Like, I've done some really weird things in the studio, like burping and throwing up in a can. I mean, like, not literally throwing up in a can, but sounds of throwing up in a can, spitting, like hawking movies.
Ew, real voices inspired by the real world.
Hey, I like your style.
It was getting weird how well they knew me at that point, you know? That, like, the writers were actually writing stuff that happened to me without me telling them.
Abby Turcouli is president of MTV Animation and executive producer of MTV Downtown.
It's a nice hybrid of what I like to call animation verite, reality-based animation inspired from real people on the streets of the East Village, and also a fantasy element that animation suits itself best for.
Bill Tush, CNN Entertainment News, New York.